JHK here for Sportskeeda, and right now I'm joined by UFC featherweight Mike Grundy. He is sitting in Houston, Texas. How does it feel to be a fighter that's going to fight in the US for the first time?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. My USA debut. It's good times, especially on a card like this. UFC 262. I know I think they had a couple of people who's pulled out originally, but the card's still great. And to be on this card with those people is fantastic. I'm excited to be fighting alongside them.
Yeah, you've been on many trips stateside for fights. It's just you've been the corner. When's the first time you actually went stateside to corner somebody for even? Is it for the UFC the first time?
Yeah, to corner. The first time to corner was the UFC in Las Vegas with Paul Sass.
Wow.
Do you remember Sass?
Yes, of course.
He had like 9 or 10 triangles. He
Yeah.
always used to do one. So I was the first. I cornered him in Vegas at the MGM Arena. Sellout crowd. That was amazing. I was just an amateur fighter then, just hoping to be in the FC. My dream was to be in the FC then, and then to be there and do a 2-week training camp with him, and then to walk out the MGM when it was just a packed out crowd. It was like, yeah, it was unreal. I thought, yeah, that's when I really knew this is where I want to be.
So you're probably anticipating that walkout, man. Especially you don't have to walk out in front of an empty arena. You get to actually walk out in front of a full crowd, and that must make it a little bit extra special for you.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's been over 2 years now since we've had it. Well, since I've had a crowd. London, my debut was the last time I had a crowd because obviously I've had a couple of layoffs. So to fight in front of a crowd now, especially in Texas, my USA debut coming over here, it's going to be the feeling's going to be unreal. And like I say, I'm as happy as ever right now. And like I say, I'm sat in the hotel room. I'm ready to go. I passed my first COVID test. Since all the setbacks, I'm just ticking off the boxes. I just can't wait to get in that cage now.
Yeah, speaking of COVID tests, you were supposed to return last January against Nick Lentz, and you get to London, and you never get on the plane to Abu Dhabi, man. Explain to the people that don't know what exactly happened, because it was kind of a weird sequence of events.
Yeah, I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. We get basically when you go to Abu Dhabi, you've got to go to London. You get a test in London, then you've got to quarantine for 2 days in a hotel room on your own. So we went to the hotel, we got our test, and then I was quarantining, and then the same night I got my results, and I thought mine was okay, but one of my teammates wasn't. So in the morning I had like missed calls from people from the UFC, I had missed calls from my coach and things like that. And then when I woke up, I rung them back straight away. As soon as I rung them back and they told me the news, I was gutted, and that was it. They just kind of said you can't fight, and they just all I got told was to kind of stay ready, and then that was it. I got sent back to Wigan, which is a 3 to 4 hour drive home. So it felt like the longest ride home ever. And then when I got home, because my wife was pregnant and she was ready for having the baby, I'd been around the person obviously who had it, so I didn't want to go straight home, and then if I had anything, I could pass it on to her. So I actually booked in a hotel for another 5 nights near mine. So I didn't go see my family straight away. So I just spent another 5 days in quarantine, really on my own, and had another test, and I was okay. So I went back and seen my family then. But yeah, it was tough times because it's not the fact. It's not just the fact that I want to fight. This is how I earn my money too. This is how I support my family. I've got 3 kids now, and I earn my money through fighting. So there's that, and also I just want a good run in the UFC because I know I can do much better things.
Yeah, it's all about being active, right? To show
Yeah,
people, to prove to people that you're an elite athlete, elite, featherweight in the division. But you're gonna get your opportunity in a couple days now.
exactly.
Why didn't they book you like maybe 2 weeks after that? Because you're healthy, you didn't test positive. I don't understand, like, why didn't you just have you fill in somewhere?
Yeah, I think it was just because we have to do I was hoping to maybe because obviously the week after there was another UFC in Abu Dhabi too. So obviously I found out I wasn't going 2 weeks before because we was flying out a week before we were supposed to fight. So I thought, well, maybe they could get me on the week after against Nick Lentz because he fought on that same show anyway, went against Movsar. So I thought maybe they could just get me on that because I'm healthy. But I think it's because in England, if we've been near anyone who's tested positive, then we've got to do 10 days quarantine. We've got to stay at home for 10 days apparently, so we can't fly it anywhere. But then yeah, I still would have been. I mean, I stayed ready soon as I found out that I could possibly maybe get another fight. I just stayed ready, carried on training. But yeah, it's took till now really to get a fight.
Yeah, yeah, that's the next question is that, you continually train. So training is not the problem. It's just getting booked with an opponent. That becomes the problem.
That's it, yeah. Because I am generally fit all year round. I'm always training. I eat well. I just live the life of a fighter. That's my dream. That's my goal, and I live the life. And I could fight. I could be another Kevin Holland if you wanted me to. Do you know what I mean? I could fight every other week. I don't mind. So that's what I want to be after this fight. I want to stay active.
And there's circumstances that are not in your control, so it's hard to be too frustrated about it. It's easy to be hard on yourself, but really there's nothing you can do, right? It's just you gotta wait for the next opponent and get ready as you normally do.
That's it. Yeah, there's no point stressing over something that's out of my control. So, I had a few days sulking after I'd realised that I wasn't fighting, but I got straight back on the horse and I was back training. And that's the way I am. That's the way I always am. But no, I'm in good spirits now and I can't wait. I'm positive and I'm excited to just fight this Saturday. I've just been like a caged animal, so I just can't wait to get in that cage.
Good things happen to people that wait, right? You get a good opponent, Lando Vannata. I mean, he's a known name in the promotion. He's involved in wars, exciting fights.
Yeah.
What type of fighter do you see when you peel back those layers, though?
In Lando's he's a tough guy, isn't he? He's a very wild striker. I can see. And yeah, he's a great name, which is exactly what I want. I need good names to push myself. Maybe not necessarily push him up the rankings because it's his first time at featherweight, but he's a good name to have on my winning record. So, but yeah, he's a wild striker. He's a tough guy to finish, and he brings exciting fighting style. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that kind of fight too.
Is that the biggest challenge, do you think, entering this fight? Is that he throws from such weird angles that you have to be really on your toes when you're striking with him?
Yeah, I mean, you've always got to stay switched on wherever you fight, because as soon as if any shot lands with those little gloves on, it could be lights out, So you've got to be ready for anything anyway all the time. But yeah, he will spin and he will throw unorthodox attacks. But I'm ready. I've practiced everything. I've definitely left no stone unturned. You know what I mean? I've been training for a long time for these kind of fights anyway.
Now, how did you split your time for this training camp back at home?
So I mean, when I lost to Movsar, I fought Movsar. I didn't want to sit at home and just dwell on the loss. So I was into training quite quick. I had my operation on my jaw, and then literally straight the day after my operation, I was on the running machine doing stuff. I was always trying to be in the gym doing stuff because I think it's better to do something than not just sit at home and get fat and eat crap and and dwell on the loss. So I was training straight away, and then Nick Lentz, I did a full camp, trained through Christmas, and I was fully ready for that. And then I only took a few days off because obviously the UFC kind of said stay ready in case there's anything coming up. So I stayed ready. And then when I realised I was just going to fight, at this point now, I went lighter maybe for a couple of weeks and then I went hard again. But like I said, I've not overtrained. I've not burnt myself out. If anything, my camp's gone great. I can't argue.
It almost seems like you've been in fight camp for 6 months now, right? It's just ridiculous.
It does, yeah. It does. But I've timed it. Pretty well. I've timed it pretty well. I've done the right things. I've took a week off. Well, I've done a lighter week when I've needed to. But yeah, my camp's gone fantastic.
Vannata, he's dropping down to featherweight for the first time in his career, I believe. I don't think he's fought at featherweight before. And he's fought as high as welterweight. So it's not like I don't know if it's going to be easy cut for him, but how much do you think that's going to be a factor in this fight?
With the way I fight, I think it could be a factor because I've got a high pace, a lot of grappling, and the wrestling. The wrestling is what takes it out of you when you fight, and I can wrestle for a long time. So, and I've got a good gas tank. So I think maybe that it could take its toll on him. First time, maybe he'll make the weight easy, but it's just the first time that he's doing it, and it's different. When you've just not got the experience in cutting that weight.
with weight cutting, you know, in the last few events, I mean, just this year, there's been a lot of fighters that have missed weight, and some of them have missed weight by a lot. Is that something that concerns you?
If he's going to make that, Lando could miss weight.
Yeah.
I don't mind if he miss weight. You know what I mean? I'll get 30% of his money, I think. But you know what I mean? I don't mind. It is what it is, and yeah, I think he will make weight, to be honest. But it's like I say, it's how you recover. It's how you've dealt with that weight cut. It's mentally it's stressful. So if you've not done it before, then it's tough. It's tough times on your body.
You mentioned the pace that you put on fighters, and when you look back at Lando's previous fights, sometimes that has become an issue for him, even at lightweight. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah. He's been in some quite high pace fights. I mean, I think he pushes the pace a little bit as well, but you just got to be able to keep it up. And I think he puts the pace on more striking style rather than a grappling style. So yeah, I mean, he does seem to go down a little bit towards the second, third round and stuff. But you can't always prepare just for that, because, you know, he could have worked on that. But like I said, I'll still go at my pace and I'll work on exactly what I want to do, and I feel it's going to work out in the night.
The only person that has ever finished Vannata is Tony Ferguson, second round submission. You're a guy that have been known to throw up some chokes and strangle some people. You know, what do you see in this fight? How do you see yourself finishing Vannata, or do you see this fight going all 3 rounds? It's going to be a dirty one.
I mean, I have thought about it, obviously. I am going to be looking to make a statement, looking for the finish. You know, it could be a choke, it could be a knockout. We don't know. We'll see.
What is a favorable finish for you? You know what I mean? Because you've been out for a little bit now, and you know, to get a emphatic win would be something that, especially a bonus with it on top of that, right, during the pay-per-view.
That'd be nice. And Lando's got a bit of that bonus luck as well. You know, I think he's had like 6 fights and 3 or 4 of them's been bonuses. So hopefully he brings a bit of that bonus luck to our fight this time. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, definitely, I'm out to make a statement, and I think it could in favour more of a submission than a knockout. But we'll see, won't we, on the night?
For sure. You never know what your opponent can pull out of you, right? Once you step in that cage.
Yeah, and especially with the crowd there as well. You know, that's going to bring another energy towards the fight as well. You know, I mean, I remember my debut in London, and there was crowds there, and it was just a different feeling, especially being in the UFC. Obviously, I've fought with crowds there, but with the UFC and you can hear your fans there and stuff, it's a different feeling. It brings a different energy to the fight.
With the rest of the year, I know you want to be active as much as you can, and it seems like they're going to go back to Fight Island. They don't know exactly when, because some of these cards that they're putting together later on in the year, they haven't mentioned the location. So I'm thinking one of these months they're going to go back to Fight Island. So is that the optimal location for you, since it's so close, well, closer than the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean, I like Fight Island. You know what I mean? The setup's great, and, you know, you get well looked after out there. And then, you know, if they have fans as well, I think it'd be great as well. But, you know, hopefully they can come back to UK as well. I mean, UK is opening up a little bit more now, and hopefully they can get back to UK and get our home crowd behind us. That'd be nice too.
Yeah, how is the UK? You know, you just left. Is it getting a lot better? Because, you know, for a while it was just really locked down for everybody.
Yeah, it was really locked down, and then now they've kind of put a tiered system in place, and, you know, like every month there's a different rule that opens up. And, like, for example, when I get back, it's like all the restaurants and the bars open again, so you're allowed to go into the bar and go to the restaurant and stuff like that. So, and then they're allowed like half capacity in crowds. So they're gonna, you know, it's gonna be open by the June 21st. I think everything's pretty much open again then. So hopefully, yeah, it'd be nice if the UFC could get there before the end of the year and get me on another card, London, Manchester, wherever, I don't mind, but somewhere in UK would be nice again. During my career, I mean, especially towards the end of my professional, before the UFC, I was always fighting. I was fighting Japan, I was fighting Brazil. You know, I wasn't even fighting in UK. So I've had one fight in the UK in probably, I don't know, 5 years or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'd like to fight in front of my own crowd.
No doubt, man. Have your family there, have all your kids there, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I've got my dad here this time.
Okay.
He never really misses a fight, but he had to miss, obviously, Abu Dhabi. But I've got him in my corner here this time, so that's nice to have him in my corner.
For sure, man. Well, May 15th, a couple days from now, UFC 262 pay-per-view, Houston, Texas. Mike, it's always good catching up with you, man. Good luck on this fight, and hopefully you get in there 2-3 times this year, man.
Yeah, that's the plan. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it.